This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. You hear that? It's the sound of your racing thoughts, keeping you from falling asleep or stopping you from enjoying your life. If your thoughts won't give you a rest, it might be time to talk through them in therapy. Visit betterhelp.com/allies to try it out.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Easy Allies podcast. I am Daniel Bloodworth, coming to you from Los Angeles, California. This week, I am joined by Isla Hink.
Hi.
And Michael Damiani.
How's it going?
In the control room, we have Don Casanova pushing all the buttons.
Hello.
As well as Gabby somewhere and Zuzu somewhere.
Zuzu!
Where's that little critter? Where's that adorable little critter?
There's Zuzu.
Zuzu.
Yes.
Look at that face.
Oh.
Cute as hell, right?
For listeners,
Yeah.
There's a dog, a little
Yes,
dog.
listeners. There is a small dog that
Violating our lease agreement.
that Gabby is dog sitting, which is
Nobody
no,
knows.
that's fine. Fine.
I don't think our landlord watches our podcast.
I also don't think it's meant for occasional moments. It's just
Yeah.
having a
I
dog
think we
living in the
can't
office
have
would be a
dog live
problem.
Here. Yeah. Blood's upset.
Anyways, we were going to have Emily Rose here tonight, but she was not feeling well today.
Yeah.
So
Feel
get
better,
better.
Emily?
Yeah. She's bummed. She's excited to be on here, so we'll get her here as soon as we can. Also, both Hubert and Brad are out this week, so it's just the three of us up here on the desk to talk
Just
about
the grown-ups today.
some of the biggest headlines in video games this week. Suda and Swery have combined forces for an all-new crazy game that we're going to get into.
Woo!
We got more fun news coming from TGS, and of course, Xbox leaked all kinds of stuff.
Everything.
Amazing stuff.
whole thing.
To talk through on that. Oh my goodness. I did end up trimming a few things since things changed kind of last minute today. So it might be shorter. Maybe it won't be shorter. Who knows? Every time I say it's shorter, we go 2.5 hours.
We
so
talk
whatever.
a lot.
Before we get started, though, we must answer for the mistakes we made in last week's episode. Don, begin corrections music, please.
Boop.
Not really. There's no corrections, except people wanted us to know the second summon in the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth trailer is almost certainly Kujata.
Yeah.
Who doesn't get brought out a lot in those summons.
Kujata.
It's a little bit odd as a correction, which is why I said no corrections, because we didn't actually say anything about that. They just pointed to the point when
want us to know.
in the video when when Kujata showed up in the trailer.
I think
nobody was talking
people-
about it.
Yeah. So like people like I was just like everyone who's reacting to it, they were just like, no one knows who it is.
Yeah, I think it was like a proxy correction, from the
Yeah.
reactions.
Yeah.
We weren't talking about it on the podcast, but on the reactions we didn't know, so they put the correction in the podcast. Okay. So there we go. But if you have a correction, leave it in the YouTube comments on either the public version or the Patreon version of this episode. Start with the word correction so I can find it, and leave a timestamp so I know what the heck we were talking about. And corrections music.
Oop.
First up, best way to start a podcast.
A game announcement.
Game announcement. Almost not an announcement. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
Don, roll this. Hotel Barcelona from
Barcelona.
Swery and Suda together.
Finally,
lot of
first
nu- lot of
time if I'm
numbers.
not mistaken.
Probably.
I think this is
in
the
terms
first.
of making a game,
I think
sure.
this is the first time they've actually collabed.
Yeah. So written and directed by Swery65. Original idea by Suda51.
So how involved was Suda? Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe just like a lot of concepts and like villain ideas and that kind of thing.
It looks like an asset swap of The Missing. Which is not a critique. The Missing is wonderful. I love The Missing. Same team. I'm
Yeah, it's the
informed.
same dev team as The Missing. Although in the interview, I think that Swery was saying that they really want to make sure that they got the action and stuff right. So that was one of the big focuses is because The Missing was not that much of an action
Yeah,
game, right?
more of a puzzle game. Didn't feel great all the time. But it's a wonderful game. If you've never played The Missing, go in knowing as little as you can. I love The Missing.
Yeah.
J.J. McField on the Island of Lost Memories, or whatever the subtitle is.
But yeah, so this is a crazy thing where there's serial killers coming to this place from all over the U.S. and you're taking them down.
Yeah.
Which actually, that does feel kind of like a No More Heroes kind of
Yeah.
Or
setup.
it reminds me of Sandman. There's a serial convention where it's all the serial killers.
Yeah. The first enemy that we see in there is like this giant zombie baseball player. It's like a mix of like Jason Voorhees and like just a total jock all around.
And they each have really cool posters, like
Yeah.
with really fun art. I'm
Then
sure
the
it's
second enemy
Easter
that we
eggs.
see is just bees.
Just bees.
They're just
some bees.
attacking bees with a couple of buzzsaws.
Yeah.
There's jump, air dash, a variety of melee and ranged weapons. Saw some knives, saw blades, pistol, Molotov, axe, and shotgun in there for Huber. They've got kind of like a map on the lower right. So there's sort of, I don't know if I exactly call it a roguelite sort of element, but like each one of these chapters you can go through
Yeah.
different rooms in
Well,
like
'cause
different orders.
There's a time loop element.
Time
right?
loop element. So this really reminds me of that other game that I saw at like Summer Game Fest, Lisfanga, the Time Shift Warrior.
Yeah.
So basically, like when you do a run, if you run back that same set of rooms, then your previous avatar is there. They liken to like a ghost in like a racing game, like in Mario Kart or whatever. But your ghost still has hitboxes, and so it's still attacking people. But Lisfanga does the same kind of thing, only that's like a top-down game and a little bit more puzzly.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to like see like these two games
We're in
revealed
phase-
very closely.
We're in phase 2 of everyone's obsession with multiverses, where it's overlapping timelines, overlapping universes. Like, yeah.
So survive the death loop with your past selves, and then if you at any point like change like what rooms you go through, then obviously like you reset. Like you don't have your little buddy,
okay.
you know, your time buddies with you. I definitely get vibes that feel similar to Shadows of the Damned. I get vibes that feel similar to Let It Die. As you mentioned, there's the movie poster things in there, which are really fun. There's an evil entity from outer space that takes the form of an upside-down boob monster. There is AI Shark, where it says pure murdelation.
Pure mutilation, yeah.
Also on that poster, Francis York Morgan, down there on the bottom.
That's from Deadly Premonition, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
very interesting. Agent York.
Yeah.
Psychological game banned in 46 countries.
It's not even out yet.
Oh no, that's they're talking about for the movie poster. It
Oh, I
says
see,
banned in
I
46
see, I
countries.
see, I
yeah.
see, I see, I see.
With the giant baby doll on it, and then the one we talked about with the baseball player is called Slasher Slugger. And then it says 2.5D slasher film parodic action, coming out next year.
Parodic.
Like a
parody.
like a parody, yeah.
Slasher film parodic action. That's a weird phrase.
Swery also did a interview on
Yeah.
Xbox Wire with a lot of more details, where they talked about the title and genre were already out there back
Yeah.
in 2019.
Was that a leak, or did they
No,
say
so
that?
they had a talk.
Okay.
So there's a talk with Suda, and at the time we announced the title Hotel Barcelona, but at that point it was just a vocal agreement where they just said, "Hey, let's collaborate," and that's about as much thought as they had put into it.
Right.
So they weren't really sure at that time whether they're even going to like fully commit to the project or not, and so they've been working on it behind the scenes since then. Hotel Barcelona is where all the action takes place. It's an integrated leisure complex featuring facilities such as a casino, a camping ground, and all this other stuff. A single living world with 7 smaller worlds inside. So that's where the different levels are.
Okay.
Yeah. Each of those different parts of the complex. The bosses are not a tribute to any single character. They're more like an embodiment of a subgenre. And then of different horror films. So there are different many subgenres of horror, such as slasher movies, zombie horror, summer camps, babysitters, and so on. And then they call your little your time loop buddies slasher phantoms.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we talked about all that stuff. They up to 3 at a time.
Okay.
But it makes there to say it doesn't necessarily make it easy.
Right.
Yeah. So still going to be tricky, even though you've got all these guys running around slashing up enemies alongside you. And then each of the 7 worlds consists of several areas to be cleared, and the boss appears in the last area. When you clear an area, you can choose a power up, which may restore health or increase attack power, etc. However, if you get hit and are sent back to the beginning, you may find it appealing to choose a different route to, say, increase your attack power and all that. But, of course, then your phantoms reset.
Right.
So it's, kind of about, like, exploring all the different paths and figuring out what you get from them and figuring out, which of those powers and such make your best play style. You want that shotgun, go the way that's got the shotgun, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it we know it's going to have vibes.
Mm-hmm.
We know it's probably going to be kind of buggy.
Right.
We know it's going to be crazy and funny and silly and grotesque. It rides or dies on if it feels fun to play.
Yeah.
Like, and you can't tell that from a trailer. Like, the trailer, depending on what you're into, either looks okay or bad or whatever, but you won't know until you play it. With this one, it's definitely one of those where it's just like, I don't know. But, like, it's going to be funny and ridiculous no matter what. So I'm into it. I'm stoked. I like The Missing. I like Deadly Premonition. I never played D4, I guess. But, yeah, I don't know. Legendary team up.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Damiani?
I mean, I'm glad people don't want this to exist. It just doesn't really speak to me, unfortunately. Like, the last several releases from them. I'm trying to remember the last game. Maybe No More Heroes was the last one I actually had an interest in, and I played it, and I felt kind of burned by it. I was like, it's not that great.
Oh, really?
And then,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, we got to go back.
There's a lot of buzz behind No More Heroes 3, though.
Yeah, that one, like, looked cool, but then, like, just looking at the gameplay part, I was like, like, the anime trailer thing was cool, but...
That trailer was very good.
Yeah, that was, like, really well done. But like, was it Killer 7? Was that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was, like, the last one, like...
That was still Capcom.
Yeah, it was at Capcom. I was like, that one was, like, the last one I played, I think, that I actually was, like, intrigued by, just because, like, the premise of it. And I don't know, like, and from my perspective, it's like gone downhill from there. I don't know. I feel bad. Like, I want them to have like a hit that, and so they can keep making games, because obviously they're very passionate about it. So, like, don't take it the wrong way. Like, I want them to, like, not succeed. But yeah, it's just been a long time since I've had like any interest in the work either of them have done, unfortunately. Yeah.
It's such a weird. These two specifically, they occupy such an interesting space in gaming for me, because it's like kind of like Easy Allies, but like there are certain creators where you're like they're not tiny, but they're not huge, and they're very niche in what they do, and you can't help but wonder, like, is that a good thing? Like, because they don't get super successful, like, is that keeping them in this weird little, like, doing whatever they want lane? And it's like, do we prefer that to them? Like, I don't know if they're capable of going corporate, but, like, I don't know. I always appreciate, because, I mean, like, likewise, I don't play a lot of their stuff. Like, I played Deadly Premonitions 1 and 2, like I said, and The Missing, which I love with all my heart. But, like, there's just as many that I skip. And, like, to me, I think that's okay. Just knowing that they're out there, it's like The Dude, Knowing that they're out there taking it easy for all of us sinners, Yeah. It's just great.
I guess I'd like to add, like, it feels like maybe their teams, especially, like, whoever they've been partnered with, the publish, it seems like they've been doing, like, a good job of, like, knowing expectations.
I think
like
Grasshopper Manufacture went independent. I think
I mean,
self-publishing.
they've been
self-publishing.
self-publishing.
Then that's like, I mean, that's probably explains why they like know their audience very well. This is like when like Atlas is all these like and like NIS do all these small releases, and like why like people, like to the outsider, like why you keep doing these, like they don't even sell that much, and like, well, they sell to a audience, and that audience will guaranteed buy them, and they know to budget it and market it appropriately to that audience, and they have no expectations of going beyond that bubble. Like, that is what it is. And
I mean, ironically, like what they're parodying in this, it's like an exploitation film where it's like, we have a very small budget, we're targeting a very small group of people, and the group of people is slightly bigger than our budget. So we'll make our money back 3 times over, and, you know, the movie costs $15,000 and we make $500,000, and there you go, you know? It's like, if that's your model, you know,
I forget.
It works.
Do they do any like crazy collector's editions? Because I know I brought up like Atlas, NIS, and like Nihon Falcom as well. Like I
don't know if they do.
They do like crazy
They have
collector's editions
they have merch
as well. Yeah, like very limited amounts because those things like go like.
I know Grasshopper Manufacturer has merch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, and then Swery's company is called White Owls.
Yeah.
It's like owls and grasshoppers coming together.
Yeah.
Building an army.
Love it.
All right, more fun stuff from TGS. We got a new, really good-looking trailer for Eiyuden Chronicles.
Yeah.
100 Heroes, as well as a release date. So this is coming April 23rd now, 2024.
Yeah. Which is probably good.
Yeah.
Not February. Thank you.
Yeah, 505 is publishing this. But yeah, this is really looking nice. Like the 3D environments look pretty well detailed, and then they've got these like hand-drawn sprites, and yeah, there's shark people in one area.
Yeah,
it's so fun because
really
they're talking about the rune lens and stuff, and like the main character is straight up Suikoden 2.
Right.
Like even the same color palette, you know, and it's like those are called the rune. Like runes are important in those games too, so it's just kind of like marvelous how on the nose it is. Like I know that's the same people and everything, a lot of the same people. I don't know, I'm really excited about this.
Yeah,
I hope it's
it
good.
Cool.
I
got a nice Wolfman in there.
Yeah, that I like. I really liked the Eiyuden Chronicles like side-scrolling game, which I can't remember the exact subtitle of right now, but it was just far too bloated. But like the characters were the strength, and I really liked the world, and I really liked the people, you know, and so I'm anticipating liking that in this too.
Yeah,
and like
I really like the way things look in this combat scenes as well.
The 6% at a time combat is definitely a holdover from Suikoden, and like it's so fun because you put in all of the commands and then all 6 of them go at once.
Nice.
And some of them work together in like combos and make a move a combo move. So it's a really unique combat system that I really, really enjoy. And it's different enough, like it's turn-based, but it's different enough that it feels really special. And I don't know if it's the same composer. I don't have that memory in my mind right now if it is or not, but like just the vibes of these are so cozy. I don't know. I love them.
Yeah. They do share like a little sand ship that's in there at one point, so I guess you like kind of go across the desert, and then they confirmed that it is coming to Game Pass.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So there's a really good song that's in this as well.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember now. Like
I
they
just
put
don't
the
remember
credit
if
up on screen. Yeah.
I just don't remember if it's the same person.
Yeah.
Some good siege weapons.
Yeah.
There's just all kinds of cool stuff in that trailer.
Oh wow.
I really hope this game is good. I'm very hopeful, and I'm nervous that it'll like just fall short of expectations. Like I'm trying to keep my expectations in check, you know, because like Suikoden is such a big deal to me. But yeah, if it delivers, dude,
But just being able to conceptualize that many characters.
It's
crazy, and I do feel like from what I've seen so far, they seem to have nailed it. Like,
yeah,
they've got a bunch of really distinct looking people.
They talk. I don't know if it was a different trailer that I saw, but they talk about the headquarters and how like finding more people like builds out your headquarters, just like in Suikoden's 1 and 2 and the others. But yeah, that really helps make the characters feel special when there are so many of them, because like you know them as their function as well as their character. So it's like, oh, you're the cook, like, or oh, you give me that like cup and ball game that we can play down by the dock in my HQ. You know, you're the blacksmith, whatever. So not all, but most of the characters have like a function as well, and make your base stronger and cozier, and like some of them will just like decorate. You know. It's great. I love it. Player housing, dude. Like the whole game is building out your sweet little house. your big castle or whatever. But they're so good. Play Suikoden's 1 and 2, everyone. 3 was all right. 4 and 5 were okay. Tactics was okay. But yeah, 1 and 2 are like god tier.
Nice. Yeah, definitely like on that wish list of things. Like if you ever get to catch up on everything.
Yeah. Well, because the HD collection's coming out
That's true.
someday.
Yeah, that's not far off.
I don't remember if that has a date yet, but
Yeah,
I hope that that's good too. We're snacking on Suikoden likes, you know. I'm pleased. Hopefully they don't eat each other's lunch.
Next up, we've got Altheia, The Wrath of Aferi. This is from the Xbox showcase. And it's from a smaller team. It's created by two brothers.
A Tale of Two Sons.
And so it's really nice. Like some of the stuff you kind of see like the budget and like some of the faces and stuff. So like it doesn't like give a good impression there. But then when it actually gets to gameplay, it's like, oh, okay. Like I'm feeling this a little bit more. But they say that they're inspired by things like Spirited Away and Boy and the Beast, and then gameplay-wise, going for the kind of like Zelda-style stuff. But you have two main characters. There's the girl who I think is Altheia. She lost her mother, and then there's this shapeshifter guy named Sadi, and he kind of like. I don't know, like, if he can change into a lot of things, but a lot of the footage you see him, like, becoming, like, a ghost dog or whatever, kind of alongside of you.
Way of the Samurai.
And yeah, so you can kind of, like, interact with them in puzzles, as well as, like, kind of, they have different functions and stuff in combat as well. And they really, like, talk a lot about, like, a connection to nature. Kind of themes, sort of like Princess Mononoke kind of thing. There are some things that look kind of like divine creatures or whatever in different areas. And there is another mechanic too that I see a lot in the trailer where they have like little things following them.
Yeah.
And like different things in different shots. So I'm curious how that plays out as well.
And is it co-op or is the
No,
guy
it's a single player game, but it's
you?
like you're
Okay.
you know, kind of going back and forth between the two characters.
I see.
Yeah, but it'd be interesting if they did it co-op as well. But yeah, so one that I did not know about before. It might have been revealed for the first time today.
Yeah.
But it's looking pretty cool, even though it's a little bit on the smaller side.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like there's a lot going on in it. So that would be my only concern is that they could pull it all off.
Yeah.
Because trying to be like that ambitious sometimes it gets a little bit difficult to stick the landing. But yeah, the mechanics looked really cool. And yeah, is it going to be more those creatures? Is it going to be like Pikmin-esque? Is it going to be like more like Kena, Bridge of Spirits? If they're going to work like that instead.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Or even like maybe you don't have like direct command over them. Like a Tinykin when they just auto do stuff for you, so like you don't have to worry about it. Because it looked kind of like a little bit more action heavy than like a Pikmin game, so it's like I would kind of worry about having to like micromanage that and doing all that stuff. And yeah, how the two characters interact. Like, we saw a glimpse where they were doing like a puzzle, they were like through like a maze type, a side view of a maze, and they were trying to like each of them were tethered to like some object, and they were trying to like guide it through.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a dual analog where you're trying to like do it at the same time. Is it mostly gonna be stuff like
brothers?
That? Yeah, exactly. Is it gonna be brothers, or do you get to try something different? Yeah.
It almost looked like the little procession was just following her. So I wonder if you're just like rescuing them, like leading them out.
Yeah.
It didn't look that complicated.
Yeah, it didn't.
For the spirits following you. But it looked cool. I love like spectral deer.
Right.
Like animals like that, like ghost animals and stuff. I've always loved the way that looks. Very Miyazaki.
You watching Reservation Dogs at all?
I haven't yet.
Okay,
I've heard it's really good.
Okay,
They got that in there?
Oh shit! There's a deer lady.
A deer lady?
Yeah.
Blood? You've been holding out on me. Watch Reservation Dogs.
Don't want to say too much more.
I've heard really good things about
some crazy
that.
stuff in this final season.
Love that.
Damiani got a fresh look at Persona 3 Reload.
Yo.
So, they dropped a new trailer. That's coming out on February 2nd. That is also Game Pass at launch.
Hell yeah. Incredible value. How many frickin' versions of Persona 3 have there been?
So
This is the third one,
there's
right?
original PlayStation 2.
Or fourth
Then
one.
there's
PSP.
then there's FES for PlayStation 2. Then there's Persona 3 Portable.
Yeah.
And
So
then,
fourth.
then the HD version of
'Cause there was a re-release recently.
yeah, the one that came out last
Yeah.
December.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was Persona 3 Portable, but in HD, basically made in HD. So it's like a port of that. So like there's a variation of that. So 3 real versions and a port variation. This will be the 4th
Okay.
real iteration of this game, from my understanding. There have been like the spin-offs as well, like the fighting game, the dancing game, So yeah, they've done a lot of Persona and Persona 3 specifically. So I am very, very, very excited. Even though I played through P3 Portable on Switch earlier this year, I am down in February to jump back into this because just the quality of life updates, the graphic updates, like it
looks really good.
Being able to walk in through these environments again when them actually more fully realized, the new voice work. And just like other, things I want to see if they change and stuff. Like, just walking around like the shopping centers now, like it's like these getting camera angles and perspectives. It just like adds a little bit more, just like immersion to it. Feels like like the crane game. You don't ever see it like that in like P3 Portable. It's just like it's a rendered thing, and you just like interact with it, and like a text thing says you won this item. So like maybe it's like actually gonna be a mini game now, which is kind of cool. And
Do you expect them to have changed Tartarus at all? Because that's like the one critique I always hear of this game.
I'm very
gets
curious about
long in the tooth, kind of
how they're gonna handle Tartarus. If it's gonna be like more the same, or if they have something to spice it up a little bit to keep players engaged with it and not maybe feel like it's a little too grindy.
Yeah.
Like a lot of side quests are tied to going in there and find missing people, and you have like a time limit. There's also like objectives you have to do in there that can feel a little bit like grindy, or that you're like running around a lot and not really doing much, so it gets repetitive. And just like if they change anything with like the social interactions as a game, like will there be any surprises, or is it going to be for people who've already played through this,
right?
Like any kind of like new, maybe like
February 2nd.
Yeah, they're coming up pretty quickly.
I wouldn't be surprised if they pull like a FF7R and like it's like way different.
Well, not to spoil anything, but like I'm very curious about how they end this game, because this game probably has like the most intriguing ending of any of the Persona games, in my opinion. So let's see if they stay 1-to-1 or if they deign to veer a little bit, because there are the
Do you
versions
deign to veer?
they've had alternate versions / like stuff that's happened after the ending, and it sounds like the stuff after is not being acknowledged by this.
Oh, okay. Because the dancing game, it's like a sequel to 3 and 4, right? Like story wise, it like continues both of them.
That or
sorta?
the fighting game, I think.
Yeah, one of them.
But I think this is. I'm assuming this is going to be its own thing, unless they've said otherwise, and I just missed it. And that soundtrack. I love this game's soundtrack, so it's totally getting a new opening. Maybe it's put out there and I've just like avoided it, but all these like new versions get like a cool new opening. Like FES had one, Portable had its unique one. I mean, Persona 4 Golden got a new opening, Persona 5 Royal got a new opening. So it's like it's one of the highlights is just not just soundtrack, but those cool new animated openings are always really fun to to participate in.
Yeah.
Fun announcement, kind of dual pair of announcements, I guess. Square Enix has announced board games for both Final Fantasy VII Remake and Final Fantasy XIV. So
you hopping in,
I
Damian?
have no interest.
You hopping in?
Zero interest.
So Final Fantasy VII Remake Materia Hunter is played either 1v1 or 2v2 as players use characters' movesets to collect materia. And that costs $45 and comes out in April.
All right.
Oh, wow, next year. Yeah.
All right.
And then Final Fantasy XIV TTRPG starter set is $60, and that's like a full-on.
It's a tabletop RPG.
It's full-on like D&D. Yeah. Like
dude,
comes with a whole bunch of dice and.
Come on, Damian, we can RP.
You can already do it in game.
But we can do it in our minds on the
Also,
table
I don't RP in the game.
$60.
Period. I just play the game for the story. I don't RP.
ERP with me in the TTRPG.
That one's coming in May.
The ERP version.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Erp edition. It's coming.
Damiani, please be
The
excited
edition.
for Isla and Damiani's erotic roleplay series on
They're gonna ask.
$15 and up on Patreon.
They're gonna ask nicely to please not do erotic roleplay.
Yeah, cease and desist.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, please don't. Yeah.
We have to write that fanfic. I just remembered.
Right?
I guess we just have to ask the patrons or we ask
We have
whoever.
to, yeah, we have to. Yeah,
Whatever,
in the meeting, we
whatever.
have to play
We'll
out
figure it
all that
We'll
stuff.
figure it out.
All that stuff. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one I'm definitely missing Huber and Brad on this week.
Share
but
the wealth.
they had a full
Infinite wealth, dude.
Yeah.
How's that?
full
Kamurocho.
RGG
Kamurocho,
direct
dude.
with 2 trailers for this game and then the opening cinematic for The Man Who Erased His Name. So this is the gameplay trailer that we have on his screen right now for the viewers.
Run around a beach. That's pretty good.
Yeah, so this is Hawaii.
Yeah.
Hawaii,
We're in
okay.
Hawaii
we're in
now.
Because we were
Hawaii now.
speculating maybe LA
Dude,
before,
look
right?
at those
Or something?
indoors.
Yeah, I think we heard that it was Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
but
what?
Yeah, the
It's the
segue.
year
of the segue, dude.
What is going on?
2024,
But
the
here's my
promise
theory,
of the
though,
segue finally
because
comes
the
true.
segue in Rebirth is also in a Hawaii-like place. So I think that maybe just something there that they're both emulating.
I've only been to Kauai, but there aren't a lot of segues in Kauai, to my knowledge. Maybe on Big Island there are.
Wait, why does it look like this?
Look like what?
Why is it like retro? Why does it look like a PS2 game right now?
Oh, there's definitely something with the quality.
Oh,
of the
okay, I was gonna say
video.
like
Yeah, I
did they put a
think-
filter
a little-
over it? Like,
No, I
what
think it's just
happened?
like a streaming quality.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, like because those first shots were amazing.
Yeah,
like
it's
the
just something about the capture.
hotel
I don't know. It looks
in-
kind of blurry to me.
But the UI looks crisper than the game, so who knows? But
Yeah,
whatever.
maybe it's just like an effect. But yeah, crazy action.
Yeah.
Hopefully you could like if there's a way to play, you can just like chill in Hawaii.
Yeah.
You don't have to like go around and fight anyone. You
Oh
can just,
no,
like,
there's all kinds of stuff to do as you'd expect.
white water gun fights. That'd be sick.
Well, so we'll get
Luau,
into
dude?
that. So, but yeah, so this is gonna be coming January 26th. So they announced the date.
What?
It's gonna have Danny Trejo and Daniel Day Kim in it. They're both gonna be like mob bosses or whatever.
That's cool.
There's a cowboy on the beach.
Yeah. So we're looking at the different jobs now. So basically, you do these Hawaiian tours to unlock
Oh
new jobs, the
my.
RPG job system. So
God.
samurai, desperado. Geodancer, Pyro Dancer, Housekeeper is the one that you see with the power wash attack.
Power washer. That's what I thought it
Power
was.
wash down
We got a
here.
power wash. That's
And
sick.
then Action Star is another one, but there's all
Wait,
kinds
whoa.
of different ones.
She's got a
Luigi's
fucking vacuum.
And then Pound Mates is
Wait,
back, where you can basically, like, your friends become summons.
That's cool.
And yeah, that was in the first 7, I think. Yeah, and that stuff is all crazy.
So this is the one that's turn-based,
Yeah, it's turn-based, but here's the thing.
but it looks really active.
Is Kazuma is back, and it sounds like you control him directly during his turns or something like that.
So he plays like the other mainline series.
Right, sort of.
If that's true, that's kind of amazing. That's kind of
But
hilarious.
I think it's still within a turn that you're just like getting to pound on guys while they wait. They stand there and wait for you.
Gather.
active time battle.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There's a dynamic weather system that's in there. It was just fun. There's a crazy delivery, which is inspired by Crazy Taxi. where
That's
you're
amazing.
Riding around to deliver food. Oh yeah, that's showing up right now. That's in the trailer.
On a bike.
Yeah.
Premium rush, dude.
Yes. Oh my
Channeling
gosh.
Huber and
Okay,
myself.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Flipping on the
Dude, all right.
This game looks
I just want to
sick.
play this mode nonstop.
Premium rush, dude. Don't skip it. That movie is great.
That is.
Yeah, so it's like
so good.
it's not just this Crazy Taxi. It's like you're doing all the the flips and
Stunts.
stuff.
Wait, what
and then
is
this thing here, it's a Sujimon manager. So you like assemble a team of fighters and have them fight in these little arenas against other guys.
Video games, dude.
What is going on?
And it looks like you get to customize your guys and stuff too. So it's just like Pokemon with like
Dudes.
yeah, with
Big
dudes. Yeah. A lot of other things. There's Mismatch, where it's like a text dating app simulator to try to get a date. And then Sega Bass Fishing is in there. It's just, the thing with the crazy photos around town. Just all kinds of nonsense.
Avert your eyes,
Karaoke is
Lemmy.
back,
We're going
of course.
everywhere here in this game.
Oh boy.
So yeah, infinite wealth. You start out penniless. You're searching for your mom, I guess.
What?
Yeah.
What a game.
Oh my god, this is
Yeah,
amazing.
the typical Yakuza, very serious story with everything goofy
Oh, this is
going
it.
on.
This is the bass fishing
think of
and
bass
they're adding
fishing,
these
yeah.
games in, right?
Yeah, lots of other classic games. in
Yeah.
there.
Because they've always got the arcade, right?
Well, one of them's getting released has never been released outside. Was it?
Oh.
Or what was or something like Daytona 2 or whatever, right?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Mascots, Gabby.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Giant shark attack.
Dude, you're gonna be a Jaws mission.
Kraken.
Dude,
He's held by a
my
kraken. Like,
God.
what's happening?
Don.
Insane.
I'm biting my tongue.
Don will
like
submit a
more-
correction for next week that it's
you'll be
Kraken.
hearing from me.
This goes places.
What a game, dude.
Infinite wealth. Excellent stuff. I wasn't able to find any footage, but Sonic Superstars is getting a new battle mode feature,
Okay.
which allows players to compete online up to 8 players or locally with 4 players in a variety of races, survival stages, and more. So you'll control a metal fighter and customize it to your liking, competing to win in 3 rounds of randomly selected battle stages. So there's races where you just reach the goal first. Zap Scrap, shoot bullets to attack other players. Points are added when you damage an opponent and decrease when you take damage. And then you open item boxes to earn a single powered up bullet.
Oh,
Star
golden
Snatcher.
gun.
Collect stars within the time limit. You will lose a star if you take damage. And Survival, stay on the stage until the end while avoiding cannonballs flying from the back of the screen. The scaffolding will collapse if it is hit by a cannonball, or if you stay in one place for too long. If you fall off the screen, you're out.
All right.
So
All right.
we'll see when those they actually.
Yeah, I
give us
need to play
some
that.
footage of that. Yeah, Sonic, Superstars. And my last TGS announcement here, Rusty Rabbit. This is coming from Nitro Plus and NetEase.
NetEase.
Why are you saying uh-oh?
Uh-oh.
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 Uh-oh, Chinese publisher taking the world. Uh-oh. Anyways, but yeah, so they have like a little cinematic thing, but this is a side-scrolling action-adventure game where rabbits have inherited the Earth,
Cool.
and this rabbit is piloting a mech throughout the game. So it definitely gives me some Fist vibes a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's not quite that either. They call it Smash and Dash.
Smash and dash.
So yeah, you're going through these kind of like 2.5D side-scrolling levels. This is coming out for PS5 and PC.
Bunny's got a drinking
in
problem.
2024.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. So Bunny's everywhere. Bunny's
Is that
taking over the
snow?
world, like we said.
Oh, it's cold. Yeah, I thought it was desert.
Yeah. And we'll get to the gameplay here in a second. But you're seeing him hop in his mech here. And
Okay.
so, yeah, I mean, actually, like pretty nice
Well,
cinematics for the
yeah.
animation.
The cinematic
Let's
Taking
see
a-
the game.
taking a
very
dragon
good.
cigar.
Yeah, what's
and
the
I'd like to see how they're
game?
monetizing it. That's why I said NetEase. It's like their monetization practices not the best.
Oh, it's a 2D side scroll.
Okay, this
Yeah,
looks
that's what
not
we're- yeah,
bad. This
what we're
looks
saying.
good.
I don't sure.
So it is like Fist.
Well, Fist is more like combat. Then this is
Yeah.
more like drill dozer, I would
Oh,
say,
okay.
and like Metroidvania.
they
Well, I mean,
did
Fist was
back and
Metroidvania
forth.
too.
Did that game come out with the girl with the drill?
No, we got a preview build, but that's
Drill?
coming out next year.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Psychopass.
Yeah. So the guy behind Psychopass is writing the story.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's an anime.
That looks fine.
Yeah, look cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. We'll have to
Whatever.
see more. Brief
Yeah.
little first look, but
If it's like an actiony SteamWorld dig,
Yeah.
like hell yeah, dude.
All right.
Hell yeah.
we've got more news to come. But if you've been enjoying this show so far, please take a second to like and subscribe and ring that bell. It helps us and it helps you stay connected. And now, a word from our sponsors.
It's I don't know if it's officially fall yet, but I'm getting in the fall spirit, the fall vibes. And the last thing I want to be doing in fall is wasting a bunch of time going to the grocery store, feeling all chilly. You know, I would love to just have a good quality chef prepared meal ready to go right at home, piping hot. I can cozy up with some horror movies and eat a meal from Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. Can help you fuel up fast with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You save time, you eat well, and you stay on track of your healthy lifestyle. Too busy this fall to cook, but you want to make sure you're eating well? With Factor, you can skip that extra trip to the grocery store and chopping, prepping, and cleaning up too, while still getting the flavor and nutritional quality you need. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are ready in just 2 minutos. So that's minutes in general English. So all you have to do is heat and enjoy, then get back to crushing your sweet fall goals. Adjust your stride this autumn without missing a step. Choose from more than 34 weekly flavor-packed, fresh, never frozen meals ready to eat in just 2 minutes. And they've got different ones. They've got Calorie Smart. They've got Protein Plus. They've got all kinds of stuff. You can get snacks. They've got more than 45 snacks and add-ons, including breakfast items like delicious apple cinnamon pancakes, bacon and cheddar egg bites, potato, bacon and egg breakfast skillets, or for easy wellness boost, try refreshing beverage options with cold-pressed juices, shakes, and smoothies. Factor is really good. I know that a lot of times you might think, oh, it's microwavable. How good could it be? Pretty good. It's really good. It tastes like a meal that you cooked if you were a better cook. And it only took you 2 minutes, and you don't have to wash a bunch of dishes. I guess you could put it on a dish if you want, and then you'd have to wash that. Sometimes it's nice to put things on a dish, I find. But you don't have to. It comes in a little thing of its own. Don't even sweat it. They're really quite nice. Head to factormeals.com/allies50 and use code allies50 to get 50% off. That's code allies50 at factormeals.com/allies50 to get 50% off. Check it out.
And if you are a patron of Easy Allies, thank you. All right, next big one. Super big. This is like headlines within the headline big. Because earlier this week, in the process of uploading evidence for their court case with the FTC, someone working for Microsoft accidentally put up a bunch of documents without redacting or blacking anything out, including everything from a whole new set of mid-gen Xbox designs to a new controller, to Phil Spencer's intentions of buying Nintendo. Should be noted that a lot of this stuff is quite dated. Some of the stuff is from 2020 or earlier. Some of it's 2021, 2022, all over the place. And Phil, in his tweet, said, "We've seen the conversation around old emails and documents. It is hard to see our team's work shared in this way because so much has changed, and there's so much to be excited about right now and in the future. We will share the real plans when we're ready."
The real plans.
When we're ready.
All right.
The real
So that's the thing to
Real.
keep in mind. Like
Yeah.
even like with some of the Bethesda stuff, like it was clear that like those dates didn't happen. Some of these games may not exist anymore. Who knows? When we look at these Xboxes and such, the we're talking prototype designs. They might not look like this image that we've gotten. But yeah, we'll start off there. We'll start off with the new Xbox Series X Brooklyn, which is like a cylinder, essentially kind of the same, looks like similar dimensions as the Xbox Series X we have now, but it's a cylinder instead of a rectangle.
Everyone says it looks like an Alexa.
Oh my lord, it does. The old one, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of does. People were also saying the Mac
Pro Studio.
Pro, yeah.
Yeah.
Or like a garbage can.
So how do I fit that in the original Xbox Series X? So if that's like a peg and this is...
It's a square and a
peg. Square and a peg, yeah. Like, how's it
round peg and a square
Not working.
hole.
It does look like it still has the big vents on the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's funny about this is that, like, even if it is technically a smaller footprint, it takes up the same amount of space on your shelf because, like, it's just because it's rounded doesn't mean you get that space back. It's still eating the same amount of...
Right. Well, my other thing, too, is that it then forces you to put it upright.
Upright.
You can't, like, if you put it on its side, it's just going to roll around.
They'll probably give you little footies like the
no.
PS5 did.
I don't like that. No,
Yeah,
do not
no,
do that. Please.
Not great.
Yeah.
Brooklyn.
They note more storage, 2 terabytes
Yeah, that's
instead of the current 1 terabyte. Faster Wi-Fi, lower power consumption.
all good.
Same price, $499. The controversy is all digital, no disk drive.
Yeah, and this is one that we don't have. Only the rumored PlayStation update, so not the Pro, but the updated models, rumored to come with like a disk drive add-on option.
Right.
This does not. Nothing in here said anything about a possible add-on.
Not that I've
for this.
seen.
And
I've only dug through so much
like
of it.
a
But
leak, so it's like it would be mentioned in one of these.
Yeah.
You think one of these bullet points, and it's like it's not.
Especially when they put so much energy into backwards compatibility.
Yeah, that's a thing. But also, it's not like significantly a significant upgrade.
yeah,
feels like
it's essentially your PlayStation 2 Slim. Like it's,
Yeah.
it's the mid-gen.
I feel like people have the Series
Same
X
console,
with their
yeah.
disk drive are like not probably looking
Yeah.
to get into this.
This is just the one that you happen to buy if you buy one in a year.
It's
yeah.
like if you want you like the novelty of the or not novelty, but like the disklessness of the S, but want more the power of the X. It's like, well, now you do have an
Yeah.
option,
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
like that's how I think it's targeting.
It's interesting to me, that they don't. 2 things stand out. 1, they don't list the dimensions, and 2, they use the word adorably digital, which adorable you usually think
Maybe
of
it's
something cute
small.
and small. What if this thing is the size of a thumb drive or something? It could be very tiny.
It's not
right?
going to be that small.
Not that.
I mean-
maybe a little Fabergé egg.
You raise a good point, though. Like,
It could be smaller.
it
though,
could
yeah.
be quite smaller. It could be, obviously not as small. It could be like the size of your,
Yeah.
Water
whatever
bottle.
the hell that's called.
I
Water
wouldn't
bottle.
be surprised. That might be nice.
Hydro flask.
Hydro
Yeah,
flask.
and I expect it'll be lighter
Hydro
too.
flask.
I mean, the Series X isn't that heavy either, but this will
Right.
probably be way lighter.
What
so.
does 6 nm die shrink for improved efficiency
6
mean?
nanometer.
Oh,
Where does it say that?
bottom thing of updated technologies.
Yeah.
Nanometers.
That's a chip,
yeah.
the chipset.
Ah.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Next up, we've got a new controller. This actually has me excited. This is a great looking controller here. This is the code name is Sabil. It has
What a
a
code name.
direct to cloud function, which is similar to the Stadia controller. Remember the Stadia controller? Like it went direct to your Wi-Fi rather than going to your PC or whatever. So this can do that if you're playing on cloud, which should eliminate a little bit of lag. It's trying to connect it to a TV or trying to connect it to an Xbox when it's just an
okay,
intermediary
yeah.
step, right?
Okay.
It has haptic feedback in it, an accelerometer like the DualSense, so it'll be parity there.
Nice.
Quieter buttons and thumbsticks.
Yeah,
is a
that's
bullet
like
point.
no more clack, 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 clack.
I hope they give you an option for louder.
Yes, that'd be
Also.
great. Like it's a slider.
Yeah.
You can turn it up and-
Loudness. Clickiness.
Yeah.
They've already kind of started this program, but they are focusing more on the right to repair stuff as that's becoming
yeah,
a
that's-
legislation thing.
that's
so,
good.
so being able to fix things. They talk about modular thumbsticks with improved longevity.
Good.
Which we've all had to hear
Yes.
about stick drift a lot. I haven't
Yes.
heard about it with Xbox as much, but
Not
they
as
all seem to
much,
be
yeah.
suffering.
I get like not drift, but like the increased like dead zone where like
Oh,
you're
yeah.
holding it and it won't actually do anything.
Right.
I get that sometimes.
Yeah.
VCA haptics double as speakers.
Yeah, that's an interesting one,
Weird.
which I'm not exactly sure how that works, but
I mean, if you
Sure.
vibrate it,
yeah.
I don't know.
But I'm just saying, like, where's the sound come out? Is it from
So-
there?
Yeah.
Rechargeable and swappable
Yes.
battery.
Yeah. No more double
There
A
we
for
go.
Xbox.
Welcome to
Thank
2007.
goodness.
I mean, you've been able to buy those separately
Oh
Yeah.
forever.
But I just wanted it
But
like all in one. Like,
it'll
it's
be
frustrating.
nice for that to be the default.
I've gone through like especially because like whenever I have to play in console wirelessly, I have to use batteries because like at least my PC is close enough I can plug in directly without being impaired with the distance. So, and you know how long some of these games are. We're playing for review. It's like I'll go through a set of AA and like Starfield. I was like I just went to. I need a second pair of AA batteries. It's like
I'm loving approachability, engage and delight, lift to wake.
oh yeah.
So,
So
the the DualSense or something does that already, where like because of the accelerometers, like it just knows that you've picked it up, and so it'll wake up.
No. Oh, sorry.
What's that?
They did move, if that's still even the share button in the middle or not, because they have, or whatever that
There
middle
does seem to
button-
be another button there.
It's lower and it was bigger in the OG one. Now it's higher and like a little thinner. So I saw when I read about this leak, people are pointing that out. Like,
Unless
are they
you
ditching
don't-
that or are they changing it?
Unless the Xbox is not pushable anymore, and that replaces
No,
that.
that's still
I don't know
gonna.
what that
No,
would
that's
be.
where that's the share button, because the share button is separate. Like it's just higher than the current share button.
Yeah.
The middle. I'm talking about the little skinny middle guy.
Yeah, the skinny middle guy.
Yeah.
Isn't the share button the Windows button?
No,
No.
that's the view button. Share
Yeah.
button is new, and it's basically where the thin one is, but it's lower.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
So maybe it was like just too hard
Getting
to
in the
press
way.
that around the
yeah.
joystick
That's
or
what I
something.
would assume.
Yeah.
Also, the finish for the handle part now, it's not like the same material. I mean, some controllers already like variations do that, but the default one having like that kind of like grip on the front, it seems like
That's like what mine has. Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of nice.
Mine's just on the back though.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they talk about seamless pairing and switching so that it can be paired up with more devices more easily.
nice.
That's nice.
The current Xbox controller already has a nice thing to where, like, if you double tap the sync button, it'll go between a PC and a Xbox.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it looks like you'll be able to get additional things hooked up to it somehow for the pairing.
That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I like their controllers, and I'm excited for improved ones as well. Like, anything to make them last longer and just feel better.
It doesn't
Yeah.
say anything about the triggers, though, so that is still potentially a differentiation with the DualSense, is those resistant triggers.
Yeah.
But we'll see. The next little bit about this, so they're on a specs comparison. This is one that I didn't pull an image up because there's a whole bunch of things, like just lines of text.
Yeah.
But they show a new SKU for Series S, codenamed Elwood, plus another Xbox Series X, codenamed Uther, in XDL, which I think stands for Xbox Design Labs.
Yes.
So it sounds like the new Xbox, it's just how you can buy the custom controllers with the different colors and
Yeah.
everything. It sounds like you may be able to order your own Xbox with whatever color
Colorway
shell
or
that
whatever?
you want. Yeah.
That's cool.
That's kind of interesting.
So rather than the PlayStation way of just buying the fins, it's like,
Yeah.
oh no, just whatever you want, we'll make it on demand.
Crazy.
Yeah. And now image 4 is the timeline. This is the projection of when all of this stuff supposedly would be happening with these plans that are back from like 2020 or whatever.
And
Or
Sabile is
whatever
the
year that was.
controller?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sabile's the controller. So early 2024 is when they would announce the new controller. May 2024 is when they were planning to launch the controller.
Right.
June, July, that Summer Game Fest window is when they would announce the new consoles. They would launch the Series S in August and launch the Series X in October.
Why that color choice for the Brooklyn bar is very odd. Gray on gray.
Yeah, it shows up a little clearer on a monitor.
I think
but
it's
yeah.
because the S series is like white exterior and X
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, it's
But
the colors of the
yeah.
Choose a different
consoles.
background,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Even with the green.
Yeah.
They're having separation to give the Series S its own moment.
That's weird.
The last chance for Edith, the old Series S, will have a $199 Black Friday before its end of life. But the end of life for Starkville, which is apparently the old Series X,
These
Oh.
fucking
This
Code-
would come before the new one.
So that seems a pretty big deal.
Oh, 'cause that means the
discontinuing
disc
the
goes
disc
away.
version and no
Yeah.
way to get a disc
Yeah.
version anymore. That seems like an issue.
So there would still be some that will be in stock, whatever.
but that's it.
But that's it. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
So you would not be able to buy a disc version after a certain point, like starting probably like 2025 or whatever. Yeah.
Also, that's not how Elwood from Blues Brothers spells his name, which is what I thought they were referencing. So I guess they were referencing something else.
Additional storage options announced next.
So yeah, so all of this stuff could be thrown out the window. Who knows?
Yeah, do we know when these slides were from?
I don't remember.
They looked
the
small.
slides. I think the slides were a little bit later, but I don't know when.
Okay.
because I don't think they would have been 2020 because that's when they launched the original.
Right.
But I don't know exactly when these guys were from this presentation.
Crazy.
Because the other ones, they're easier to date because it's like their emails with the the date at the top of the email or whatever. Whereas this is a PowerPoint presentation or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, any other thoughts about the hardware nonsense?
I mean, it's time for the mid-gen console stuff. So
yeah, and these aren't like pros.
Right. That's
They're
that's
literally
the thing.
the same thing with like more memory.
Because it's kind of just like, okay, like if it's cheaper for you guys, whatever. I don't know.
Same price points.
Same price. Yeah, not cheaper for us. So you're only taking functionality away.
Yeah, just losing a disc version to purchase after a certain point is just gonna be
For the same cost too.
Yeah.
That's not great.
Yeah, especially when there's $100 difference between PlayStation.
Yeah, like that.
Right. That's not great.
Doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
But it's round now, so
It's round now.
That costs a lot more.
yeah, and it costs more.
I gotta say, the only thing that makes me a tiny bit nervous are those the super round horns on the controller, because it looks a lot like the PS5 one now. Everyone loves PS5, but I'm a huge fan of the Xbox. I liked a little bit of those hard edges, and I don't know, for some reason they always feel the PS5 still. I get a little bit of slippage every once in a while. It feels like it's gonna pop out the top of my hands. I don't know why.
Okay.
It's me. I love the shape of that original Xbox controller, so I'm a little nervous that they're going more towards PS5. We'll see.
All right. Let's talk about Xbox and Nintendo.
In your dreams.
Email
Phil.
from 2020
Yeah, it's like
when Phil
whatever.
Spencer was looking at acquisitions. Should be noted, this was still before the Series X had even launched. And they were considering Nintendo, Valve, WB Games, and this is when they were also thinking about ZeniMax. This is before ZeniMax stuff. And Phil Spencer, I totally agree. Oh, wait, this might not be Phil Spencer, but this is a quote. I totally agree that Nintendo is the prime asset for gaming, and today gaming is our most likely path to consumer relevance. Yeah, I do think this is Phil. Sorry. I'm back and forth in my head.
Totally didn't sound like Phil, but consumer relevance definitely sounded like Phil.
The unfortunate or fortunate for Nintendo situation is that Nintendo is sitting on a big pile of cash. He then talks about a partner who's pushing to get more Nintendo stock, which could put Microsoft in a better position to acquire them.
Like Vivendi, dude. Hostile takeover.
But also says he doesn't want to look hostile, so they're playing the long game.
Holy
trying
shit.
to buddy up to
Phil, the
Nintendo.
lies of P, dude. The lies of Phil.
Also says that getting Nintendo would be a, quote, a career moment.
Well, yeah, no shit. It's a white whale, Phil. Give it up.
And it's just taking a long time for Nintendo to realize that their future exists off of their own hardware.
Oh my God.
A long time. Smiley
They're
face.
printing money, dude.
The third place
Yeah.
wanting to acquire first place. Very, very interesting.
But also while saying that the first place isn't crushing it on hardware, even though they're outselling everybody.
And
Bananas,
there are
Phil.
stories that
Love
this
it.
already they tried this 20 years ago.
Yeah.
The story
Right.
People have been trying to buy
our
Nintendo
story is
forever.
that like they got laughed out of the office
Yeah.
in the pitch. They were like Nintendo was like, bye, get out of here.
Yeah.
Like this is like this seems like the most unreal. I think it's okay for Phil to like said this like privately, like, oh, this would be cool. Like
Yeah.
it's like, oh, we'd be awesome. If we
I
were
mean,
Nintendo.
it's
like,
literally-
yeah,
But it's
like,
not
yeah.
just that, but they had run the numbers. This
Yeah.
was an email about them
It's
running
literally
the numbers in all
his
these
job
situations.
to
Yeah.
entertain the possibility.
Yeah, like
I think even he knows that it's impossible. Like the tone seems like he's kind of like tongue in cheek a little. At least that's my read. But it's his job to tilt at windmills to an extent.
yeah, and who are the? Sorry, who's the other ones again? So
WB Games.
WB Games.
Which obviously like that all got acquired anyways, and that's that whole nightmare mess going on over there with Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
And then Valve.
Yeah.
Valve is the one where like they haven't screwed me right now.
Yeah.
They try to go after Valve. They're gonna have
boy.
a lot more people
Yeah.
coming at them.
Oh yeah, that will that'll be some fireworks. They ever tried to do that? Yeah,
But
that's,
Valve similarly, no.
No,
Not
they
wanting
wouldn't.
to
They
sell.
would
no,
never. They would
no interest
never.
at all. That's just yeah. That's just like listen, if we were like the most valuable companies we could buy, if we if
Yeah.
we get them, it's like cool. I mean, might as well just throw Sony on that list too. There, should have had like an email about Sony. Like, we could buy Sony. That'd be a career moment too. Like,
Yeah. If we could buy the United States,
yeah,
that would be a career-defining moment.
this one is like, again, it's like it's a few years old.
Yeah.
I think
An innocent Phil, like, just dewy-eyed, not yet in litigation about Activision for years. Little does he know,
Yeah. Next up, we have a Bethesda roadmap. This one is definitely outdated, but there's a lot of interesting things that are on here.
You're saving the good stuff for last.
Potential remasters for Fallout 3 and Oblivion.
Okay.
A new Doom game listed as Doom Year Zero that was meant to come out this year.
Whoa.
That didn't happen, obviously.
Yeah.
2 codename projects that I don't know anything about, Kestrel and Platinum.
Kestrel sounds really familiar, actually.
and Platinum is Scalebound.
Elder Scrolls 6 was very optimistically listed for 2024.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Along with a licensed IP game, which I don't think that's Indiana Jones, but maybe this is far enough back that it could have been Indiana Jones.
Yeah, because this was 2020 or this was...
Maybe.
Okay.
2020 or 2021. It's definitely outdated, so
Yeah.
yeah. A Ghostwire Tokyo sequel, which I think could still be definitely in the works. And Dishonored 3
Oh.
is on there as well. So, very fun
Okay.
stuff if we could get to that.
Yeah.
As of
I
April...
wonder if Redfall took the wind out of the sails for that.
as of April 2022, 74.8% of Xbox current gen was Series S.
78%.
74%.
74%.
Yeah, 74.8.
Oh,
Almost 3/4.
That's way more than I thought.
Yeah.
I'm shocked by that.
Although more recent data suggests it's actually closer to 50-50 since the X has gotten an improved supply. But still, a big
I mean,
split, yeah.
that proves that the market is there for that, like what we always jokingly called compromised system.
Yeah.
I'll eat crow on that one. I thought they shouldn't have done S, but apparently they should have.
Yeah, I mean, there's a real point of like
Yeah.
people can only afford so much
For sure.
and if you can play the same games that are just not quite as good
Yeah.
for a couple $100 cheaper, then
Yeah.
yeah,
Worth
people want to
it.
do that. Yeah.
Worth it.
And then I think this is the one that Isla's wanting to get at.
Yeah, baby. Let's get into
Some
it.
Game Pass numbers.
Woo!
In response to the Starfield delay,
This is insane.
in May 2022, Microsoft put together an assessment of upcoming titles that could potentially fill the gap if they brought them to Game Pass at launch. Phil quoting again, this is really a disaster situation for us given all we've invested in content across studios.
The delay of Starfield.
Yeah.
The games just can't get out on time.
Yeah. In particular, they expected Rockstar to release a current-gen version of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Right.
And estimated that Rockstar would want $5 million per month to get it day one on Game Pass.
Oh, so that was an estimate for that
these
version.
are all assessments. These are
Oh,
not
okay,
what
okay,
they're
okay,
paying
okay.
currently. Yeah.
But it gives you an idea of the kind of dollars they're dishing out for things,
Yeah.
perhaps.
They also considered Rockstar's likelihood to put it on Game Pass as, quote, very low.
Yeah.
They also underestimated Baldur's Gate 3's draw in popularity, and they ballpark that is just a $5 million flat.
Yeah.
Which you'll see why that's low when we get to these others. Lego Star Wars, $35 million. Dying Light 2, $50 million.
Wow.
City Skylines 2, they just didn't come up with the numbers. Unknown, we don't know.
Eh.
Red Dead Redemption 2, $5 million per month. Dragon Ball The Breakers, $20 million to put that day one on Game Pass.
That's at a Toei license fee.
Just Dance, $5 million. Return to Monkey Island, $5 million. Wreckfest 2. Wait, Wreckfest 2? Don, Wreckfest 2.
Wait, what? What?
Why Wreckfest too? $10 to $14 million.
Is there
Here we go.
I think there's not a Wreckfest 2.
Oh, okay.
Jackpot.
Baldur's Gate 3, $5 million. Gotham Knights, $50 million. They thought that was gonna be worth.
Oh.
Assassin's Creed Mirage, $100 million.
Ooh-wee.
Suicide Squad, $250 million.
That's like the budget of the game. How many copies sold is that?
I don't know. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, $300 million.
Goo.
Mortal Kombat, $250 million. And then Grand Theft Auto 5, $12 to $15 million per month.
Per
Get
month.
paid. That's
See, Game Pass is a ridiculous value.
oh my gosh.
Holy crap.
I noticed there's a suspiciously absent is a S&B from that list. How much do you think they're gonna pay for that?
Suicide Squad and Mortal Kombat were
Wait, what?
deemed unlikely due to the corporate changes at WB. And they also thought that Jedi Survivor just simply would not happen with Star Wars. They had also considered putting all the Dark Souls games on Game Pass as an incentive to get people to upsell to Elden Ring.
Huh.
To get people curious about these Dark Souls games, they want to get them on Game Pass, and then like, oh, well, maybe I'll buy Elden Ring
Maybe
now.
I'll buy Elden Ring. Honestly, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I do know that from people I've talked to that like agreeing to be on Game Pass like paid for the budget. This is like an indie game, but like paid for the budget of their entire game.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like it's a good value not only to the end user but to developers as well. But like I had no idea for the big ticket item they were willing to pay anywhere
How much it
near
would
these
cost,
numbers.
yeah.
I actually ran the numbers. And because Game Pass has a few different plans, there's the $20 Ultimate and the $10 whatever. So I averaged everybody to $15. Very cursory math. Like, because we
But
added
you had
all
thought
these.
that they would actually have paid all
I
this.
had thought
and
that
all
they
these
already
at the
paid
same
all
time,
this, yeah, which was wrong. But like, that's like $1 billion outlay. That would need to be $68 million or 67 million subscribers at $15 a month, just to like hit that, right? Like
Right,
that's
just to pay that,
crazy.
yeah. But yeah, they're obviously not doing. Like,
No.
they're like
I
they're
had
gonna
thought-
pick like a couple.
When
of these,
Huber was
maybe,
freaking
yeah.
out about these numbers, I thought that they had paid these, and I was like, "That is impossible." What?
Right.
Now I know that
It
was
actually is
impossible.
impossible, yeah.
Okay.
And
So I
some
am
of these,
curious
like
what
as
they
they said,
actually
like yeah, they're
paid.
not gonna like Rockstar's not gonna do this, but here's
No.
what it would cost.
Yeah.
Because like wait, like it's like what was it 300 million for Star Wars is what they said?
Yeah.
If you it's a $70 game,
Yeah.
like yeah, like how
Let's do it. Let's just
yeah,
do
how many
it.
copies would have to sell to break just that from Game Pass alone?
Yeah. Well, that's probably what it goes down to. That's
Like a
how they
little
got to
over,
these
like,
numbers.
four-
It's like how
between
much is this gonna sell?
4.5
That's
million?
4.3 million.
4.3 million
copies.
copies.
Yeah.
Just to sell that. So I wonder what. Yeah. We don't get the actual numbers anymore from the former MPDs, and it's like, man, this is why I love.
What are they called now?
numbers.
Citronella?
Because I'd love to have those numbers, because then we could like see like, oh, they would have got a better deal by being on Game Pass. It's curious which games like that's insane. Like they would not sell that many copies, but all these on that list sounded like they were easily like probably gonna be 10 million plus sellers. So it's like at $70 a pop, it's like looking at 700 million to $1 billion before deducting all this stuff. So it's
Yeah.
like 200, 300 million's like, yeah, we're laughing you out of here. So, but I mean, that's just Game Pass. So you're just losing one platform.
One platform.
So-
and not everyone
yeah.
has Game Pass. There are a lot of people on
Yeah.
Xbox who still buy games for Xbox.
Oh yeah.
So it's like
Starfield sold a ton.
Exactly. Which is, to me, it's a little crazy. It's like, just do a trial and try Starfield.
Well, I mean, sure,
You know.
some of those people have probably
Already done their
spent
trial. Yeah.
I mean, I know
That's
these
true.
aren't what they're paying. They're like their ideas. So it'd be like awesome to have
Right.
like actual deals
Yeah,
where we paid.
but that's the thing.
Just
these are not things that they negotiated with anyone. Or
Right.
anything. This is just
But,
somebody
like,
ran numbers, and this
this
is
is-
what they thought it would cost.
This is a devastating leak for them because it's like now
yeah.
the companies know, like, oh wow, they would have offered us this. Like that's kind of cool.
Yeah, when they come
you know?
back for other games, they'd be like, "Yeah, we know
Yeah.
when to start.
We know,
you're-
yeah.
Like, where you going? We're gonna high,
We're starting at
we're going
twice
higher,
that.
Yeah. Another thing I always would love to get is like any of the exclusivity deals for like PlayStation, like to keep those
Yeah,
those
who
console windows,
knows?
like just to see, because like when these games come out and they have their placements and the sales rankings, and you think, did they do well or not? Because we don't even see hard numbers. You maybe see, like, unless the company puts out a press release, and it's like, well, how much did Game Pass or the exclusivity also contribute to that? Like the bottom line. Like, yeah, I'm with Huber when he says like it stinks how like the movie industry is like a little bit more transparent with the box office details.
Right.
Whereas in the game industry, we still don't really get that clarity.
My film history knowledge doesn't extend far enough to know if that's like a legal requirement or if that's just kind of how it developed that they share budgets. Because I know the Paramount decree in 48 like had to make them split either the distribution arm or the publishing arm.
Well, I think
basically,
that's the thing too. Is like you're still only like getting that one slice though, right? Like,
right.
They're not telling you the streaming numbers or the
and you
DVD
don't,
sales.
and you
all
don't
that
know the
other stuff.
marketing budget often, which is usually like equal to or more than the budget of the film, sometimes double, sometimes way more than double.
So I think it's just one of those things that it's like it's set up to be tracked.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So whereas the games industry, it takes a
like,
lot more pulling of the data.
We've always thought, we've always wondered, how much does Sony pay for a COD map exclusive or whatever?
Right.
And I always figured it was like a few million, maybe like double-digit millions, maybe, but never did I think it was hundreds of millions. Like, that is bonkers.
Yeah.
The amounts of money that are just zipping around out there, staggering. Patreon.com/EasyAllies.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other thoughts on this crazy leak before we move on?
It's wild.
I feel like you can pay me $1 million to be on Game Pass.
Michael, everyone's like, who is just a guy? Okay. I would pay for it.
Also this week,
1 million.
1 million.
Don, roll this. This is Don special right here. The final Trail Out DLC
Whoa.
Yeah.
has a tank. I guess it's an APC or whatever. And
an
a
APC?
crane and a whole lot of destruction. What's going on here, Don?
Yes, I love
Remote
this.
control
The
car.
game that keeps on giving. Everybody has to try this. Trail Out, just a Wreckfest. I would call it not a Wreckfest clone at all because it's got way more spectacle. Look at this T3 vibes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the heck?
Straight out of T3.
Oof.
The game looks a little goofier and arcadier than it is, actually. The physics are very good in this. The driving is very good. I mean, right there, like maybe a tiny hair below Wreckfest in terms of, but they keep improving. So I don't know now. I haven't played this newest one. The game is solid as hell. Most importantly, it's just like the physics and the world. It's pure fun.
Just the rope physics on these cranes
Yeah.
and things, though,
Yes.
is so funny that they've got that going on.
Yeah, the weapons here that they've added, these tanks and APC that can fire projectiles, I think is going to add a lot of fun to this.
Is this the game that you said randomly got the Batmobile for like a day and then
I
it
don't know
suddenly
what was
stopped
going on,
having
yeah.
it?
I don't know what's going on with this game, but I turned it on a couple months ago. It had a bunch of 1990, whatever, 92 from Batman, the original Batmobile. Everyone was racing Batmobiles, and they
89
disappeared.
was the original
Yeah, it was at
Bat-
89. They disappeared the next day. So I don't know what's happening with this game here, but they keep surprising. You don't know what's coming next. It's very good.
Oh, wow. Excellent news. Remember that Jurassic Park collection that was announced?
This is great. news.
Missing Genesis games?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, after what sounds like a brutal series of negotiations, both Genesis games are now included.
Very nice.
Life found
That's
a
a win,
way.
dude. Life found a way, dude.
This is
Life
huge.
found a way.
So that's a sick collection coming in.
Yeah.
Next up, Digital Eclipse has released Wizardry Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord.
Whoa.
In Steam Early Access. This is a remake
Oh, yeah,
of the
yeah.
original Wizardry game
Yeah,
that
that's like
essentially
OG.
began the RPG genre.
Yeah.
Look what they did.
And
Holy
has
cow.
not been available for like
Whoa.
20
Yeah.
years. Full 3D remake.
Yeah.
They've improved a lot of systems with like party management and all this kind of stuff. But it's built on top of the original Apple II code. So you can actually overlay the original interface like on top of the screen, like a mini map type of thing.
Oh, that's wild.
But yeah, it's so freaking crazy. It's so cool. Like they've just like brought it to life with like, yeah, there was almost no graphics at this time. Like graphics were a new thing for video games. So it's crazy.
The OG RPG.
The OG RPG. Yeah, I mean back in this time.
This is like why Dragon Quest exists and Final Fantasy exists. Yeah.
White boxes were like the hotness.
Yeah.
Like the fact that it looked like you were walking forward was like, oh my god, it's 3D. Yeah.
Sea of Thieves is finally getting PvE servers called Safer Seas.
Yeah.
This is coming in December. A little bit of a downside. It's just a regular 4-player private group. You can't like get in a server with a bunch of buddies.
And it has nerfed progression.
Yeah.
Some of the progression is not.
Yeah, it doesn't have all of the stuff that you would get in the normal because they basically see it as like an introduction.
Training wheels,
Place to get in there and get your feet wet.
Very good.
Yes. More games need to do that. More games need to give you like stress-free, low, like no stakes, tutorial style like environments to like just screw around. That means stripping away rewards. I mean, even like this is diminished rewards, not even like taking away rewards. It's like to let people learn how to like play a game in a multiplayer environment, you know, safe seas, safe space. Like it's really good for that. And then when you're ready, you can go out. Like really surprised more games don't do this.
Yeah. So you can get out there and have some fun with your friends without worrying about somebody just coming and smashing your ship.
Yeah.
Ruining the party. Ubisoft very quietly announced The Division 3. They just put a press release out about the Division series in general, and it just happened to mention The Division 3 as well. But it just seems to be starting development.
Oh, okay. So it's a while.
Very early.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought it was like, it's almost done. I had no idea the context. I'm like, maybe it's ready to go. Wow, that's a shock they only announced in a press release.
No. They're just kind of talking about some of the staffing changes, the guy that's kind of heading up all that stuff. Speaking of, founder Glenn Schofield is leaving Striking Distance Studios after Callisto Protocol failed to meet its lofty expectations. The CEO and CFO are also leaving. Which means that Steve Papoutsis is stepping into the CEO role. He was also a Dead Space guy. I remember interviewing him back in the day. That game sold 2 million copies. And they expected 5 million.
Wow.
Their parent company, Krafton. They also recently laid off 30 people.
Jeez.
Which leaves them with 90 still at the studio.
Back down to AAA, I guess. Quadruple A was too much. Too lofty.
Yeah, I don't think that was them, but maybe. There were
I think we've done this before. It was them. I think I looked it up.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure that the Callisto Protocol was the first game that ever said quadruple A.
Because we were talking about that with the Perfect Dark guys. But
they also said it.
I got it. Okay. Anyways. Also, Crystal Dynamics has made the difficult decision to part ways with 9 brand/marketing and 1 IT employee due to internal restructuring to align the studio with our current business needs. So basically, the word got out that there were layoffs. Yeah,
Krafton claimed it would be a quadruple A developed title.
Got it. And everyone was freaking out about Tomb Raider and Perfect Dark since Crystal Dynamics, and so like they purposely worded the statement to say like, oh no, those are just marketing people. Don't worry about that. It almost feels like throwing them under the bus. Like, yeah, their jobs don't matter. It's okay.
Cheapers.
And along with that, Stephen Totilo reporting that Embracer CEO Lars Wingefers says that the company is seeking outside investment for some projects to avoid some layoffs. But also, ultimately, we are making decisions to either restructure or downsize some teams, and there will be a few cases of closures. So,
I mean,
Embracer.
Who could have seen that coming with their flagrant overreach?
Yeah. So, definitely sucks. But I guess it's not as bad as we thought it was, but it's still bad. Yeah.
Crazy.
Roll this, Dawn. Dawn, this is so cool. Do you remember Lost in Random a couple years ago.
I remember Jones saying those words a lot.
Yeah, he did the review.
Yeah.
It was an EA Originals game. So the guys behind Lost in Random and Ghost Giant
Oh, I remember Ghost.
have formed a new studio called Moonhood. And this time around, they're doing it for real. So Lost in Random just kind of looked like clay. It was just kind of a shader thing. This time they have hired sculptors and painters to actually make their characters and objects and stuff out of clay.
Oh, funny.
And they're scanning them in to turn them into 3D models and then animating them after they've scanned them. And so, yeah, they kind of have like a little dev diary here where they show all the stuff that they're working on and the process. And it looks really cool. I don't think that they've actually like named the game, but you know, there's a lot of like freaky Nightmare Before Christmas looking stuff going on.
Yeah.
In this video.
Such artistry. I got to show AJ this.
Yeah, absolutely. AJ would love this.
Yeah.
And this video came out this morning, so I haven't seen a whole lot of people talking about it yet. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to where it goes. The results from seeing the clay to the thing in the screen animating is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, it's such an interesting... I've been toying with ideas like this for film stuff, too, where it's like you build a model, you photograph the hell out of it, make a 3D model out of it, and then you can do whatever you want. So, like, the animation stuff is in CG, but
Right.
all the assets are from a real thing. And, like, when you do that, photogrammetry or whatever, you can have really, really good quality stuff, especially with lighting, like, because you can put the
Right.
lighting in the environments and stuff. In film, it's really good. Like, they did that with Chappie, which I've never seen, but yeah. And Jurassic Park, like, that's why the CG looked so good, because they had the actual thing in the spot, and they're like, okay. Oh, there he goes, he's talking.
The first ever anime adaptation of the Onimusha series is coming to Netflix from Takashi Miike.
Onimusha Man, what? Takashi Miike?
Yeah, from Audition.
Yeah.
And Shinya
And
Sagai.
Ichi the Killer and literally 130 other films. 13 Assassins, like the greatest movie ever made. Dude, I didn't know Miike was involved. That's crazy.
There you go.
Oh, he is so prolific.
Onimusha.
It's insane.
This one's for Huber.
Yeah. So hyped. He's so hyped about it.
I'm hyped now that I know it's Miike.
Announced this morning, we just got a teaser, so I didn't think it was worth putting on screen. Tales of the Shire is coming from Weta and Private Division in 2024. They said it will be cozy. That's about it.
All right.
Hey,
cool.
that's all
Cozy.
it needs to be.
Yeah.
Are they owned by Embracer, or are they exploiting that Lord
No,
of the Rings?
this deal went down before the Embracer thing.
Okay.
So this was already kind of
So
in the works
Embracer's
before.
not yet exploiting the Lord of the Rings
right,
property.
Right.
Okay.
I don't know if they're getting the money off of it. No idea. But
Lord of the Rings is the most like fractured property on Earth right now. I feel like it's crazy.
and speaking of cozy, starting October 7th, the Seattle Aquarium is going to have an Animal Crossing themed aquarium experience.
What?
Yeah.
Sophia!
Yeah, you come face to face with marine animals such as sea otters, harbor seals, octopus, hundreds of species of fish, and more. This is the first time an aquarium experience like this is available in North America. The exhibit will include several exciting features available for both members and the public, including photo opportunities featuring an aquarium-themed background with characters from the game, themed creature descriptions presented by Blathers with information directly from the game, sandies of familiar characters from the game throughout the aquarium near a wide variety of habitats, and a bingo scavenger hunt available via smart device to ensure guests don't miss any of the fun.
Whoa.
So kind of like that app that we had at Super Nintendo
Yeah,
World.
yeah.
Was like, go over here and do that. with the stamps.
Considering a trip to Seattle right
Yeah.
now. When is that, October?
October through, I think, the end of the year, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's time for love and respect. Love and respect.
I forgot to say it.
I've done that. Just get carried away.
I was doing a rhythm with my hands and I forgot to do it.
From Splontot.
Splontot.
I absolutely Slove. I
like
absolutely
it.
love Splatoon. I've played them all. Single player, casual, competitive, Splatfest, the card game, you name it. If it's in Splatoon, I've played it. All in all, I probably have 20 to 30 hours in the series over the years. Despite how much I absolutely love the series in tone, art style, and gameplay, I rarely ever actually play the game. Though I think of it very often and always want to get back into it, I never actually do. Do you have any games or series you know you love and would have a blast with if you went back to it, but just never do?
Yes.
That's a series, yes.
No.
Series yes?
They're a band.
Xbox Series yes?
Xbox Series, yes. No, there are lots of games and series that I love that I think about. Like, I think about them all the time, and then I just don't go back and play them. Like, I think about replaying Outer Wilds, like, a couple of times a week, probably. Because of the Swery and stuff news this morning, I was thinking about The Missing. Again, I think about that game pretty regularly. Stuff like that, like all the Myst games. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot. But I fully know that vibe where it's just like, you're like pining for it, but then you don't actually sit down and do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't actually played a Metal Gear game in a long time. Like
Right.
The Easy Living was the last time when we played OG Metal Gear Solid, I think.
Oh, Easy Living.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was just one, and I was like only part of it. And like before that, I can't remember when I played.
Well, there's a
I know.
collection coming out here pretty soon.
Yeah, there is.
Time to re-experience
Shit, when is that?
it.
That's like soon, isn't
October.
Yeah.
it?
Well, that one's like you don't have to rush to play right
Yeah,
away.
yeah,
That
yeah,
one's
yeah.
fine. That one's legitimately can come out at any point.
Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, this is my general multiplayer experience, right? Like, just just like what they're saying with Splatoon. It's like the same thing. Like, I played that game for a few months, and then once I was like not in the rhythm of playing it again, is like out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
And I feel like any game that I play some multiplayer in like that, it's like I could, while I'm playing it, it's like, oh yeah, I could play this forever, but then I just don't, So like any Call of Duty kind of fits that way. And Meet Your Maker, that was great for a few nights.
Yeah.
And then just
I played a
didn't think about
boatload
it
of
again.
that, but yeah.
And then similarly, there's like any game that's just like super long, like I would love to play through that Mass Effect collection, but there's that's a 100-hour commitment right
How's
there.
that Baldur's Gate 3 treating you?
Exactly. Like I
How's that Baldur's
could play
Gate
all
3
three Mass Effect or 4 Mass Effect games, or I could play a Baldur's Gate 3. Like
Can't really go
the
wrong
same
either
length
way
of
on that
time
one.
for both of those choices: full series
Baldur's
or this
Gate-
one game.
Baldur's Gate 3 is so good.
But yeah,
But
it's
so is Mass Effect 2.
so hard.
I love Mass Effect 2.
From my buddy Daniel Giesland, submitted
Ah.
love and respect. Hey there, Aviator Gamer. Hello, allies. It's pretty well established that the year 2023 is an absolute bonkers year
Yeah.
for the video game market. Numerous titles have come out and will come out this year that are strong GOTY contenders. GOTY every month.
Go to every week, September and October, it
Yeah.
seems like.
As a consumer, I have found myself not having the time or money to purchase multiple games that have come out. Yep.
Yeah.
Including Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Yep.
We work in this and
Tears
we
of
don't
the
have
Kingdom.
time.
I'm still working on that at
Haven't
some point.
finished that one yet, yeah.
Yep. I've heard you say numerous times to smaller games that they need to just delay themselves into 2024 or later. Thinking from a small business perspective, I can't imagine that actually being a good situation, as they are likely facing lower sales and player count.
Yeah.
I fear the result might be that otherwise good games simply won't be successful or successful enough. So I'm wondering, from a purely business perspective, do you think this year will actually be worse for video game developers in the long run because their otherwise astounding game won't be getting the attention that it would have gotten if they had released in another year? Is it possible that a year like 2023, while being incredibly exciting for a gamer, might actually hurt the overall market in the long run?
Great question. But yeah, I was thinking about that this morning when you posted something in Slack about another game coming out in October. And I was just like, what is the thought process on these smaller teams? Especially 2023, but especially September, October. Like, you are going to be buried. Like Dave the Diver, right? Incredible game and sold really well. But like, I can imagine in a different year it would have done even better. Like
maybe,
it
but
did
that's the
really
thing.
well.
I feel like the breakout hits. There's still going to be kind of breakout hits no matter what. Like, like Baldur's Gate 3. Like, there's no particular reason
Right.
that game should have blown up, except that it's just incredible.
Yeah.
And so
like,
it's like whenever Baldur's Gate 3 came out, it would have been just as incredible and would have probably still just blown up.
I mean, I hope you're right. I guess.
But I think
Dave the Diver is a bad example.
Yeah.
But like, if there's a like Void Stranger or something that like a really cool game that fewer people have
Ghost Runner
heard
2 coming
about
out in October.
Yeah. Like that kind of stuff. I'm really afraid. Or like, how about this? The Ghost Trick re-release. Like,
Yeah.
a known quantity, a beloved title, and like probably didn't perform as well as they. I mean, I'm totally speculating here, but like I wonder if it didn't perform as well because of the year it came out in. Like everything this year is so crazy that like, do you have time to dip back into Ghost Trick? Like I've always wanted to play that and I still haven't.
Right.
Because it's been too crazy.
Well, the one I'm thinking of is Immortals of Avium.
Yeah. That one
Like,
that one looked mid to me from the start.
but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah,
it's a game that like you don't necessarily expect it to like blow your mind.
Yeah.
But it is really good. But it doesn't have any kind of brand recognition or anything behind it. And so,
Yeah.
When people are like, it's cool, but I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a quintessential like, oh, there's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Kind of a game.
I mean, that is your 100% swimming in sevens. It's
Yeah.
like, if you play it, you're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
Don't need to,
Yeah.
stop everything you're doing and grab it.
You need a dead 2 weeks for an Immortals of Avium to
Exactly.
hit,
Yeah.
And there just hasn't been. It's crazy. Like I was thinking about that this morning though, and I'm just like, as a small business owner, right? Like as an indie developer, what do you do? Like, because you need that inflow of cash. You've budgeted and scheduled for your game to come out in October 2023 2 years ago, or you delayed into 2023. Right. Without having announced it because you're a smaller team or whatever it is. It's like these decisions have been made well in advance, and you're not privy to all the Baldur's Gates and the Alan Wakes and the Spider-Mens and stuff. Like, does it hurt you more to then just wait when you're done with money? Like, because you have a budget, like you maybe
Right.
don't have a budget to pay your people anymore.
But Alone in the Dark did it.
Alone in the
They're
Dark
like,
did it.
yeah, this October.
But they have a big
let's
publisher.
get out of here. Let's get out of here.
They have a big publisher to
Sure.
maybe like help them with that, and maybe they like
Mid-sized publisher.
Well,
but
yeah, mid-size, but maybe they go Skeleton Crew in the interim. I don't know, but like, it's definitely a weird, difficult question. Is like, will we make more money putting the game out now and just hope a streamer rediscovers it in a year when it's less busy than we would lose if we delayed 5-6 months? Like, I
Remember
who knows?
the Devolver Direct? It was like 6
Yeah.
minutes long where they just celebrated all the games they just delayed.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, these games aren't coming out this year.
Yeah.
We're excited.
Yeah, which is genius marketing, but also like probably good for your games. Yeah. I honestly don't know that it's a question with an easy answer. Like, I don't know.
No, because it's like you don't know what's coming in 2024 either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
you'll
there's a
never
couple
know.
Those like January, February is already starting to look stacked.
Yeah. I mean, I think, like, obviously because of COVID and all that, like, there was a dearth or a whatever, and now 2023 is just a crazy-ass year because it was enough time for things to rebound enough that everything's hitting at the same time, and, like, for better and for worse, right? Like,
Right.
it's just a crazy time right now, like, in kind of everything. I don't know. It's nuts.
There's never been a year for me like every year there's always a little more than you can play at once. So I'm always making advanced purchases of games. I'm definitely going to get to this, so I'm going to purchase it. But this year, even earlier in the year, because there was at least one huge great game every month, and it felt like a half dozen smaller great games. It was actually easier because it was so overwhelming that I just had to pump the brakes on like a way more purchases than I usually do, and not being like I know I'm going to play it. I just was like, no, I'll just purchase it at another point.
Even
it was
games,
like a deluge, just too many.
Because if you wait, it's gonna drop.
Right.
Yeah. So there's like if you know you're not gonna play it, there's not really any advantage to buying it right now.
On the flip side of that, even games that I've bought, I've honestly secretly been relieved that I wasn't super into them. Like,
because you wanted to play something else, yeah.
because like Armored Core 6, I was like, this is really good, but I'm not really vibing on it right now. I don't know. I don't feel a real drive to play it right now. Probably mostly because of Baldur's Gate. But like, I was sort of relieved that I was like, okay, I don't have to deal with this right now. I don't have to be torn between 2 or 3 games. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, Starfield being on Game Pass was a gift because I was like, okay, I didn't waste $70 on this.
Any thoughts, Damiani? Anything else?
Hey, yeah, I mean, no. You said very
Yeah.
much everything I was going to say, yeah.
All right, let's play a game. All right. Don, you haven't been looking at answers, have you?
I haven't actually.
Okay. Because I think you might be good on this.
Uh-oh.
This might be fun to see where this goes.
You're into participation.
From the champ. Hey, allies, it's time for round 2 of Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I have a random list of special moves, super arts, command normals, basic attacks, and combo names from Mortal Kombat 1 and Street Fighter 6. Can you guess which move comes from which game?
Okay.
And bonus points if you can guess the character.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, they did have the characters listed. Okay. First one, Embrace.
Molina.
Embrace. I would say Mortal Kombat.
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter
Damn it!
Dang it.
from JP.
I'm not going to be any good at this.
The Devil Inside.
I'm going to say Street Fighter.
I'll say Mortal
Is that
Kombat.
a Kuma?
Street
It's got to be
Fighter.
Kuma, right?
Street Fighter, that's Jamie.
Dang it. Halfway there.
Never Grow Old.
Shang Tsung,
Made-
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
That's Mortal Kombat, that's Nitara.
Ooh.
Goddess of the Hunt.
Ooh.
I'm going to say Street Fighter.
Yeah, Cammy.
Mortal Kombat?
Or-
Is that?
It is Street Fighter.
Oh, who's it?
Marissa.
Oh, it's Marissa.
Ah,
Damn.
Nova Blast.
Street Fighter.
Probably Street Fighter. Which means it's probably Mortal Kombat.
I can't think what MK character
Mortal
would be
Kombat?
that, though.
It's Mortal Kombat, Lee
is it?
May.
Lee May to the Nova Blast.
Oh.
What the heck?
What the heck?
Which MK? Does it say which MK that was?
Mortal Kombat 1.
They're all one, yeah.
They're all Mortal Kombat 1 or Street Fighter 6.
Oh, Mortal Kombat. I'm not so well versed. Okay.
Machine Gun Chops.
Street Fighter.
Yeah, probably Street Fighter.
I'll go Street Fighter.
Guile, maybe?
Zangief.
Yeah.
Low Key Sunrise Festival.
Mortal Kombat?
I'll say Street Fighter. I'll say Street Fighter.
Street Fighter, that's DJ.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
We're doing pretty good.
Seeking Guidance.
Mortal
Please,
Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
Tanya.
Nice.
Nice.
Shout out, Tanya. So good.
She's cool.
Love her.
This is funny that this is a named thing, but okay. Sweep the Leg.
Yeah.
Dude, please be Johnny Cage.
That has to be MK.
He nailed it.
Yeah.
Johnny Cage.
You got a bonus point. First bonus point.
Yay. Ding, 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 ding.
Leg Banged Redemption.
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter?
Sure, Street Fighter. I don't know.
That's Mortal Kombat. It's Johnny Cage again.
I was going to say, or it's Johnny Cage again because it's like
I was like,
Red Dead
We're
Redemption.
not going to do a double Johnny Cage, are they? No. Shit.
Age Before Beauty.
Oh, please be Street
Mortal
Fighter.
Kombat.
What's their face?
I think Street Fighter.
Mortal Kombat Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung.
There was my Shang Tsung.
Because he's immortal, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Last one. Charging Pain.
Street Fighter.
Is that Blanca?
Street Fighter.
Mortal Kombat.
Wow.
Reiko.
Dawn!
All right, it's time for bets. This week's bet. Whoa,
That was really loud.
that was a water bottle flying across the room.
Sorry.
If you heard that and you don't know what's happening,
Sorry.
audio listeners. Paleo Pines, the Dinosaur Rancher Life Sim is out next week. And the launch trailer, or the most recent trailer, how many dinosaurs will we see? The Switch pre-order launch trailer, or the Switch pre-order trailer 2 weeks ago, had 45 dinosaurs. Isla.
52.
Oh, okay.
Damiani.
45.
He thinks it'll be the same trailer. I almost did that.
Don.
I went 8, the low.
Okay.
Come on, blood, do this.
Ooh.
And I went 38.
Okay,
Oh,
okay,
we
okay.
Got you boxed in, Damiani.
No new trailer.
No new trailer.
Short and sweet. Short and sweet.
Or long and moody,
Oh, yeah.
where they just show like a couple of dinos.
I think they're going to go that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because sometimes these trailers just take turns that you just don't expect.
I'm hoping for a vista populated with many dinosaurs.
Right. Last week's bet, Mortal Kombat 1, that standard edition launched this week. We played it a couple of times. Don's streaming that thing Friday, but we were looking for today at 5 o'clock before the podcast to see where it would sit in the Twitch rankings.
Oh.
Last week when I had checked, it was at 6th place. Brad had bet 10th. Trisha bet 2nd.
What?
Damiani bet 11th. Don bet number 1.
This was on launch day. It should be noted. I was flying very high at that point.
And I bet 12.
Oh no.
The answer? 27th place at 5 o'clock today.
It
What
was
happened
not
to
doing
Mortal
very well.
Kombat?
Slots was doing better.
Yeah.
Everyone's playing.
So that brings our scores to Garrulous Ducks 25. Sleepy Grizzlies 17.
It's only one of them right now.
It was good.
Yeah.
though.
That was
Very
good. I loved
Good
it.
one.
I
Very
visualized it.
Let me tell you about patreon.com/easyallies. Everything that we do is because you are here watching us and listening to us, and all of our supporters are the engine that keeps us running. And we are funded by people just like you who decide to head over there to patreon.com/easyallies and chip in a couple of bucks every month, or a lot of money every month. Some people are really in there helping us out, making it happen. Yeah, it's that community support that keeps us going. There's several different ways that we get funding, but the main thing and the most beneficial thing is at Patreon. And you get all kinds of different rewards if you join up there. At $5 a month, you get this podcast 2 days early. You get it ad-free. You get extra love and respect questions. You get to submit love and respect questions and games. You get fast and loose. You get reaction shots. You get trash babies. You get extended cuts. You get into Discord where you can vote on those top 10 swords. We'll be going over that like probably beginning of the month, so that'll be fun.
Nice.
Top 10 swords.
Don't sleep on Sword Brother from Symphony of the Night.
At $10, you can join our contributor tier and get in on some other stuff. $25 and up are our producers tiers, where they get credits every month on the podcast, as well as fun things like fan mail if you're on the $50 level. And then our platinum producers get a shout out on this podcast every single week, as well as shout outs on Frame Trap and Reaction Shots. And this month's shout outs go to Javawebs, Altheia, Greg, The Dark Knight Kettering, and Garrett Holfish. Shout out. I won that bet, so I get to promote any Easy Eyes video I would like to promote. I get the final word on anything I've disagreed with, want to reiterate, or just popped in my head, and I get to sign off with my trademark sign off. I'm going to promote something that is not out at this moment if you're watching the live stream, but should be up probably tomorrow and before the public. My Sea of Stars review.
Oh, okay.
Wanted to have this up sooner, of course. Always want to have things up as soon as I can. But I did put out an impressions video as soon as I could, and we did an extra discussion on Frame Trap. But now the review is done. I had that relief moment because it's like that between the you finish the game, but then you haven't written the script, and there's just that sort of like that blank page anxiety of like, I've got to get this script done soon because then I got to start working on the podcast. But then after group stream, went home, banged out that script,
Nice.
Really happy with that script. So yeah, that'd be nice to go over that final cut with Don and get that up. And final word. Just want to shout out to Emily Rose again. Sorry that you were not feeling well tonight, but we will get you back here soon. I'm also talking to some other people to get them in. Hopefully get some more guests in here every now and then. So that will be fun. And we will see you before the next Blood Moon Rises. Full series or this one game?